Hello, I would like to inform you that you're about to listen to a lot of bullshit comments. So you might not agree with them, but that's the way of the world. Everyone has different opinions to you, so please don't cancel any of us, please. And I hope you enjoy the podcast. Roll the weird shit.
Can we talk about?
Do you want to know what Eddie asked me when I entered the recording room? Can I hear him heavy breathing? I was like, no. Should I?
Look, there was a reason behind that. I don't know what it is.
You're secretly Darth Vader.
That's actually really creepy.
That sounds more like Gollum.
Wow, thanks. Kick me while I'm down.
That's like Gollum having a wank.
What?
Isn't it?
Oh God! Why have I done this to myself? Oh no! Oh God!
I'm now assuming that when Eddie has sex, he sounds like Gollum having a wank.
What?
That's now where my brain has gone.
Massively.
This is not how I wanted the banter section to go. Hello everybody, this is the Ed Talks About podcast, a weekly podcast about cosplay, Comic-Con and everything else. I'm your host Eddie, and this week we are talking about food and cosplay, Room 101. For copyright purposes, it's not Room 101, it's the FnC Room 101. Phew, got away with that one. Anyway, joining us on the podcast is Alex of Natashka Cosplay and Lele of Lele Cosplay. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
Hello.
I've got it right this time. I got both your names right, all of it.
You did.
Well done. You actually know my name.
It's actually more Alex's I get wrong majority of the
Every time.
Every time.
You've done pretty well the last few times, to be fair.
Yeah, I think
You
so. I
nailed
can't
it now.
remember. I'm nailing it. It's like I'm doing this properly now. This podcast.
It's like you're an actual professional.
Don't knock me.
God.
Who, me? No. Oh dear. Anyway, whilst I remember, I'm just gonna put a disclaimer out right now. I am not at home recording this podcast. I'm in a hotel room right now, and it's really echoey, and I hope it's not too off-putting, the echo, but if it does, I'm sorry, but you have to deal with it. I'll do my best to clean up the audio. And also, one of my guests is just ill.
Hi.
And if you couldn't tell who that was Lele. I was going to say, I thank you for actually taking the time and the energy to come on my podcast.
Oh, thanks. It's all right. You're welcome.
Could you sound more Essex?
The thing is, I'm not even from there. Like,
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said, could you sound any more Essex? Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway. Oh, God. Anyway, before we go into the main meat of the podcast, I always do my 7-day checkup, so I'll do alphabetically ordered. Alex, how are you? How's the last 7 days for you?
It's been busy. I go on holiday next week, so I'm doing the whole wrap up everything at work because everybody thinks you're going to be gone forever. So they're all panicking, and I'm like, I'm literally gone 5 days, guys. It's not going to be that bad. So, got one more day to get through, and then we're all good.
Yeah, actually, do you know what? I'm thing is, I'm half the opposite at work. When I go on holiday, I do everything I can just to make sure that all bases are covered, and everyone around was like, "You're only gone for like 5 days. Just chill. The place will be fine." No, I need to prepare for everything, all good eventualities. Oh my God! So yeah, so
I feel like I'm the opposite of both. I just go and I'm like, not my problem.
Bye.
See you, sucker.
I'm on island time now. Bye.
Fuck this country. I'm out of here. Oh God. You don't have to reveal which country, or where you're going. But are you going anywhere nice, Alex?
I'm going back to Disneyland Paris. Not that you could guess or anything. It's like the only place I go.
Don't you go back to Avenger Towers?
That's where I'm going.
No, not that Avenger. No, hang on. There's only 2 places you go that I see on your Facebook wall: Disneyland and a certain theatre with a certain show.
Oh, yeah, no, I did that last week.
Yes, I know. Why didn't you contact me so we can meet up?
I could have done that.
It's because she doesn't like you.
Yeah,
To be fair,
that's
it was a very, very weird day in London because I went to see 2 shows, and the main show I went to see was Next to Normal at the Donmar because Casey Levy, who's the original Elsa from Broadway, who has been my dream to see live in anything since 2017,
yeah.
was in it. I got to the Donmar, I was in, I bought my program, I had a drink, I was like, let's go. Show was cancelled due to technical difficulties.
No.
Aww.
So I literally went up to London. I had to get the coach in the morning because of the train strikes. So it was like 2.5 hours to get there. I booked a hotel because of the train strikes to stay, all to go and see Frozen for the 7th time.
Oh, I would really love to go and see the Frozen musical.
Do
Oh,
it.
just
We
talk
should
to
all go.
Alex. She'll probably can tell you every little bit of it.
You can act it out for me.
I could do it word for word probably at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just act it out for me. It's fine. I can just close my eyes and picture it. It's fine.
I do have 2 of the costumes. So, let's go.
I know you can't. I know this is an audio podcast, but I'm generally face palming myself. So,
That
oh
doesn't
god.
surprise me.
No. And on that note, I'm going to move it on. Hey, Lele, how are you? How's the last 7 days for you besides being ill?
Yeah, so I've got a cold in the last couple of days, but that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, work's been kind of quiet at the moment. It's been alright. I went out last weekend. That was fun. That was great. That's probably why I've got a cold now. But yeah, all good. All good.
Oh, good. I was going to say, is the only reason that work is being a bit quiet because they don't realise you're there.
No, so basically, I work in a. Sorry if you heard a weird noise then in the background. That was my dog. Apologies. I work in a. Arnold, can you not kiss my face right now?
Aw.
Hi. I'm sorry if that picked that up.
Well, we heard you talking about it. There was nothing else. Not that I could hear.
This is when you play it back later and you're like, oh no, I can hear it actually. Yeah.
I could hear everything.
So yeah, I work in a college, and obviously they've just started back up for September, and just these first couple of weeks for me in the job that I do is a little bit slow while everything's starting back up.
Okay.
But then it's gonna pick up more over the next few weeks as they actually start getting into the lessons and everything,
Oh, okay then, fair enough. No, I understand. Although I work at a school and it's the opposite for me, and everything's just ramped up at the moment, so busy for me. I'm just I just need a break than anything else. Oh, before again we get into the podcast, I asked this question and I was really shocked to hear the answer. And I said, "Oh, are either you two going to MTM London in October?" This is the answer I got.
No.
What the hell? Wow, come.
Who's going first? Who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah, you go.
I already said it. So
Yeah,
go first. So yeah, I always go to MTM, don't I?
Yes.
I'm always
yes.
there.
Yeah.
I basically live there.
Yes.
But combination of things. So anyone that knows me knows that I always go with Becca.
Yes.
If you don't know Becca, you should know Becca. Becca's great. And she has been declined her creator pass.
Oh.
Which is weird because we've had creator passes since they started the creator passes. We actually got contacted by them before they launched the creator passes, asking us if we would like to apply for them because they're launching them, years ago. And we've always had them, and we've even hosted stage panels talking about cosplay and stuff before. So yeah, it's a bit weird that she's been declined. But so that's kind of had one effect on it. And then obviously you've got the hotel prices.
Yes.
Which have gotten insane over the last couple of years. Mental. And we are also going to be going back to America to Holiday Matsuri in Florida in December.
Oh, yeah.
We did it last year and we're going out there again this year. And with the cost of the hotels for MCM and the fact that we're going to need at least some money for Holmat, we're just kind of weighing it up and going, is it really worth spending like a grand on a hotel room for London when we need this money for going to Holmat in Florida? And we've kind of thought about it and gone, actually maybe let's just skip this one.
Money? What's money? I don't understand what money is. Sorry, what's
like,
that?
what is money?
What
I
is
don't
money?
know.
What is money? Oh, okay. I've heard your reason. Alex, what's your reason?
It's a mix. Again, it's a mixture of stuff. I've done MCM, both MCM London and May and October every year for the last 10, 11 years. But this one, it's my sister's birthday weekend. Her birthday is what would be the Friday of MCM. And I'm taking her to see McFly in Bournemouth for her birthday on Saturday.
Ah.
So we've been going to McFly concerts every time they've done one, basically, for years. So it's kind of like our thing. So it was like, well, I'm going to take her for that for her birthday. And also it's just so expensive now. Like London is my local for Big Con, and it's a shame it's so expensive. But I costed it up, and it was like going to cost me nearly the same price that I'm paying to do a week in Disneyland Paris just for 2 days.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to cut down and only do May now, because I've got MegaCon coming up in January.
Oh no, don't let that be a thing. No.
I love MegaCon. It's so fun.
No, okay, as long as you know what you're getting yourself into, that's all it matters. That's all I'm going to say on that matter.
I'm here for a cheaper con, let's face it.
No, absolutely.
I booked my hotel and it was the price of one night for MCM London.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that was for 3 nights. Because they obviously haven't realised that there's a con on. So I'm just waiting for that dreaded cancellation email for the hotel. I'm like, please no.
I wish they never did that. Oh God! But talking about like wishing for things that didn't happen, let's talk about the FnC Room 101. And for those who don't know, I've done this now. This is one of my 4th, maybe 5th iteration of this. So basically, it's a room written by George Orwell. Is it George Orwell? Oh no! Now I need to look this up.
So
now.
yeah.
Oh God! Let me quickly look this up. Is it 1984?
1984.
Yeah.
1984.
George Orwell.
That is George Orwell.
Yeah, George Orwell. Good. And he obviously there's a room called Room 101 where they put all the unwanted things in there. If this may be based on a popular TV show on the BBC, I who knows? I'm just going to run with it. Let's go. Anyway. I always do 4 categories, and we might move one of them into the podcast extra if we run out of time. So the 4 categories are something about cosplay, something about photography, something about life, and something about food. All right. So the something about life is going to be a really interesting one from me. So my guests already half know about it, but they don't know why. So yeah. So, strap in, people. We're in for a ride. So let's do the easy one. Let's get that one out of the way. Let's do something about cosplay. Okay. So the rules are: we'll all take turns to pitch out why we want to put this in Room 101, and then once we've said all our pieces, we'll all vote to say, no, I want mine want to go into Room 101, or actually I'll switch my vote to someone else. And if there is a winner, we put that into Room 101. If it doesn't, who knows? We'll just move on to the next one, okay? We're just all stubborn people, maybe. Anyway, shall I go first, or let one of the ladies go first? Do you know what? I'm going to let one of the ladies go first. And I'll let Alex go. So I'll do it alphabetically. So, Alex, what would you like to put in my mythical FnC Room 101?
I would like to put in being mistaken for a different character. There's just been so many times where I've put so much time and effort into a cosplay only to have somebody come up to me really confidently and be like, oh my God, I love your whatever it is cosplay. And I have to turn around and go, thanks, but it's not that. Like, they're always so confident as well. They're like, yeah, I nailed it. And it's like, no, you didn't. No.
Sorry.
I have had this happen as well, and it is infuriating.
I've had it on 2 levels where somebody gets it 100% wrong. So I did Hawkeye from the Avengers around the time the Avengers came out. It was a female version, so I kind of get where it might be a bit difficult, but I mean, loads of people recognized it. And somebody came up to me and was like, oh my God, I love your DC Huntress cosplay. And I was like, I don't even know who that is at the time. Like, I was very baby cosplayer. I was like, I don't know who that is, but it's not me. So I had it from another level though, where it was my Ghost in the Shell cosplay, which is obscure anyway, because it's a 30-year-old anime. But a guy came up to me and he was like, oh, I love your Kotoko Musanagi cosplay. And I was like, you got the character right, but the name 100% wrong. And I love it. So you tried.
An effort was made.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew vaguely the character.
A+ for effort.
Yeah.
Not even a grade for accuracy. Let's put it that
No.
way.
The enthusiasm was there.
I've had this happen when it's when I did a female version of a male character. So maybe this is a
Maybe
thing
that's a vibe.
that adds to it. I wanted to do something from Game of Thrones. Naturally, me being me, I decided I want to do Varys, the large bald man from Game of Thrones. But I was like, I'm going to do a sexy lady Varys.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. Carry on.
So I put loads of effort into it. My friend helped make the actual costume, and it actually was spot on, fabric wise and everything, and the pattern and the colouring and everything was spot on to one of Varys's outfits, but it was just tailored to be more of a feminine cut. I had a bald cap and everything, which honestly took us hours to get this bald cap glued on my head and all blended in and everything, and it wouldn't stick. And then at one point I had a meltdown and I was having a panic attack in the hotel room with half a bald cap on. It was a whole thing. So much effort. And then it was all done and I was like, this is great. And then two people, I had one person go past me and go, oh, that's such a great Ancient One cosplay.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But also, no. And then somebody was like, oh, nice airbender.
Oh, they're not well, because I didn't know. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I've just Googled Game of Thrones bald guy. I can see where they've gone with. Well, when you mentioned bald and you made it feminine, I thought, oh no, they've gone with Gollum. Oh god. Oh god. Oh dear me. I don't know what to say because I've done that myself. I'm sure I've got it to say, oh my god, that's a great cosplay of such and such, and they've gone, it isn't. I'm going, oh shit. A for effort.
I think it's one of those ones where you can't be mad about it because it is just quite funny.
It is, but also I can imagine how infuriating it is. Like you said, let's take for example, Alex, your Elsa Frozen outfits, one of many, I assume, and I know how much effort you put in, especially with on the podcast you recorded, you were still sewing the jewels. Yeah.
If someone obviously came on the podcast,
and if someone came up to you and said, "Oh my god, that's such a," and a different character name came out, I can imagine deep inside of you die a little bit because all that effort, and they don't even recognize me. What the actual fuck?
I did get it with that cosplay.
Oh.
What did they call you?
I can't remember. I think it was. I don't know whether they thought it was Akita from Atlantis. Because it was the armor kind of I get the vibes that they had for it, but it was nowhere close. I had somebody thought I was a Jedi Cinderella as well at one point.
Actually, to be fair, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see it. But yeah, I was just I had a few people did recognize it, so that kind of balanced it out. I was in the hotel, literally on my way, ready to strip the corset off because I was just dying, and somebody was like, "Oh my god, it's musical Elsa!" And I was like, "Thank you so much. I'm going to get out of it." But yeah, sometimes when you I put nearly a year of my life into that outfit, to then have somebody turn around and be like, "Oh, I love your whatever it is," and I'm just like, "Thanks." That's not what it is at all, but cool.
On a percentage level, how devastated are you when they don't get the character when you spend a year into that cosplay?
It's a weird one because I didn't expect people to really get it unless they've seen the musical, because it is a musical exclusive outfit. But at the same time, I've got a blonde braid and I look really icy, so chances are it's Elsa from Frozen, right? She's only one of the most popular characters ever. So it's always pretty gutting. I had it with a Black Widow once, believe it or not. Yeah. Infinity War, when she turned blonde.
Oh, yes.
I had a photographer go down the line of Avengers because we had one of everybody. And they got to me and I was like, I don't know who you are. All of them just went, it's Black Widow. Yeah, have you not seen the movie? And he was like, no, I haven't. I'm like, well, there you go.
Do your research, people. Oh, dear.
It's
Anyway.
only one of the biggest movies of all time, but you know.
Oh, just one other. Just one of.
Only a few people have seen it.
Only a few.
Yeah.
So have you seen it? Have you seen it? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh dear. All right. Well, let's move on a little bit and get to Lele. So I want to hear her one.
Okay. So my one is. What is my one? Oh God, mind blank. My one is making your cosplay elitism. I have nothing against people I make, obviously. Like, I love people making their cosplays. I know I could sit and watch videos of people doing it all the time, and I love hearing about how they made things and stuff. I've made props and things like that before. I don't sew myself, and I often honestly just don't have the time and patience.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the time, I just get frustrated and angry. If I try and make things. And so a lot of the time I'm like, I just want to paint someone else to do it for me. But you do obviously get certain people who, if you don't make your own cosplay, they kind of act like you're not a real cosplayer. They're kind of like, oh, you're not a real cosplayer then, because you haven't made it. And it grinds my gears. It grinds my gears. Because that's not what cosplay is meant to just be a bunch of nerds having fun and dressing up as nerdy shit they like. You know? Like, it's not about that. If you want to make it, great. But if you don't want to, that's fine. You can still join in the nerd club and be nerds with everyone. But some people ruin it.
All right, Peter Griffin. All right.
Yeah.
Calm down. Calm down. No, I mean, I don't think anyone around this table is going to go, oh no, I love elitism. Let's bring it into the let's go. I love it. Let's ramp it even higher.
So I just love it when people are dickheads, you know, like
just rubbing their face that you can't do this, but I can. Okay, but let's swing it a little bit. What happens if you are you know, those people that make those comments come from people who do like competition and kind of like accuracy is like the thing about it.
Like, it's again, if somebody does competitions and stuff, like, again, I love it. I love watching the competitions, and the amount of effort they put in is great, but they still shouldn't like crap on somebody that doesn't make their own cosplays, you know? Like, doesn't make you better than other people.
Yeah.
And like, it means, you're better at making cosplays than the person who doesn't, because they're clearly, they're not good at it, they don't make them. But they're still a cosplayer, and they should still be able to be part of the cosplay community, just like everybody else. And there's so many different aspects to it as well. So like, I do most of my own wig cutting and styling. I don't necessarily sew my own outfits, but I do most of my own like wig cutting and styling and things like that. And some people can't do it. Some people can sew their own outfits, but they can't style a wig to save their life. They don't really know how to do it. Or they're not very good at it. So it kind of goes in different ways, kind of thing. And it doesn't mean if one person's good at one and not the other, it doesn't mean that one person's better than the other or anything. And some people can do all of it. Some people will make all their own cosplay, make all their own props. Yeah. They'll do all their own wigs and everything, but they don't know how to pose themselves for pictures. They don't know how to make their facial expressions like match the character and actually like really bring the character to life. They're kind of a bit awkward maybe when they get in front of the camera. They don't really know what to do with themselves. Whereas somebody else might buy all of their stuff and commission people to do stuff, but they know how to bring the character to life. When they get their pictures taken, they study their poses and they know how to really make it really lifelike and realistic. Everybody has like their different like strengths and things with it. So everybody should get to just be like a part of it. And even if you can't do any of it, even if you've bought a £10 spider suit and you're terrible at taking pictures, well, it doesn't matter because you just want to dress up like Spider-Man, man, and you should be able to do that. Like,
yeah, just enjoy. No, I get what you're saying. I just thought I'd just throw it like a devil's advocate type of point of view. Alex, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Like, I'm kind of split quite evenly because like all my Black Widows who I'm most known for, most of that is bought because I would spend probably double what I pay for somebody to make my catsuit for me, attempting to make it myself on materials, getting the screen accuracy, all of that. So I outsource and pay for somebody to make the suit, but I make my own props and stuff like that. Whereas my Elsas and the other cosplays I've started doing now that Black Widow's dead, I've been making them
What?
myself.
Spoiler.
Yeah, just in case anybody didn't know. So I kind of like cosplay is cosplay at the end of the day, no matter what you do. Like I've seen, like you can get some really good stuff made. You can support really good small businesses by getting stuff made. Like you just have fun with it at the end of the day. Who cares where it came from, right?
Oh yeah, well, absolutely 100%. Sorry, I had a thought. It disappeared and now it's returned. I remember literally only a couple of weeks ago I said this on a different podcast. I said I really hate when people kind of do those tutorial videos and say, "Oh, to do this, it's quite simple. You need a whole garage full of stuff." I'm like,
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah.
who's accumulated all that stuff already? Some people can't afford all that. So no matter how people say, "Oh, it's easy to do this to make your cosplay," you may not have the time, the money, the effort, or the space to do it. You just simply got like, where I live in London, I've got, I'm living in a small flat. So if I ever want to become a cosplayer, I really don't have the space for it, if I'm honest.
Mm.
So
Yeah, all of my stuff is currently packed away because I'm in the process of moving. So and you don't realize how much stuff like you have as a cosplayer. Like
Stop.
There's a lot. It's a lot of
Elsa is
stuff.
massive. Like she's a ball gown, but she's freaking massive because there's so much to her. And it's like, how do I store this? What do I do? So like I chuck out loads of my props and stuff that I've made over the years purely because I've just got nowhere to put it. And I'm like, will I use this again? Probably not. Whereas my bought Black Widow stuff just folds really neatly in a box.
Fair enough. Did anyone add in more points to this before we move on?
I don't think so.
No,
No?
very good.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get with it. Right, so what I want to put into Room 101, which could be actually in the photography one. Sorry, not Room, the FnC Room 101. Just get that right, Eddie. Which could be in the photography one, but I'm going to put it in this one first. Oh, God, I'm going to get hate for this. I'm going to get cancelled. I want to put
cancel Eddie.
Yeah. I want to put group cosplays into Room 101, my Room 101. No, let me explain. I do like when people do group cosplays. I love seeing when people do, like the one I did at MCM London was something about flags, the gay pirate show.
Oh, Our Flag Means Death.
That's it.
Never watched it, but I know the name.
Thank you. It's got Reese Witherspoon.
I have no idea.
No, it's Reese.
No.
Reese. No, is it Reese? Oh, I have to Google this one again. Hang on.
Isn't the New
I can
Zealand? Is
hear-
he from New Zealand?
Yeah.
Was he in Flight of the Conchords?
Probably,
That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
I can picture his face, but I cannot remember his name.
Flag means death, right? I'm sure it's Reese. I bet it's now not Reese.
You're going to get like doubly cancelled for not knowing his
Oh
name.
God. What's his name? Reese Darby.
That's it.
Right. Okay. So I did that. And that's fine. My only problem is when it comes to photography is that it's just lining them up and make them look dynamic. And I swear when I do my photo, they just look like they're in a police lineup. They just look. For some reason, they don't look great, and it's not their fault. It's me. It's more me than anything else. But when people tell me, "Oh, I've got a group cosplay," like, "Oh no, I don't want to do it. Go away."
I'm sat here like I've shot a group cosplay with you before. Now I'm sat here like, oh God, he hated it.
Yeah. I will do it. Don't get me wrong. But if I had a choice, I just walk away. When I see two or more people, like pairs is okay. Three,
You'll do pairs, okay?
Yeah, but anything more than three, and I'm three out of push, and I have to be in a really good mood. But anything more than that, oh my God, I did a 3 at VeeamCon. Oh God. Anyway, like I said, because if there's anything more than that, it's like, because I use a lot of depth of field. So therefore, a lot of my photos got that, that creamy, blurry background. But when you got a big group and you stagger it a little bit, it's like, that one's out of focus and this, but I'm like, oh, why? I want my buttery, creamy bokeh effect. And no.
I want my buttery biscuit base.
But I can't because there's too many people. So that's really why I don't like group photos, just for that petty reason.
That feels valid. Like,
Is it?
No, I think I think you're right. Like at a con, group cosplays don't really work too well. It works for a meetup and for like candid pictures, but I think if you had a location shoot, you could probably make it work because the background would be way more interesting than like the grey walls, and you could just interact with things. You can kind of stage a shot as if it's like a scene that's happening and things like that. Like I've done location group shots, like we did the Infinity War Avengers shoot in Scotland, and it was incredible because we had like, God, must have been like up to like 20 people, but it worked because we could stage stuff, and it was dynamic, and we had different backgrounds and props, and it was a whole thing. Whereas, yeah, I know what you mean about the police lineup feels, because I'm in pictures that look very much like that from various cons over the years.
Yeah, I don't know how like proper photographers make group photos look great, because I do copy it and then I still look like it still looks like a police lineup. I just don't understand how.
The thing is, like you said, at con, like you said, you use the depth of field because at con, it's busy, there's people everywhere, and if you don't do that, you just get loads of people in your background and stuff that doesn't really match in your background. So you want to have it just blurry, but if you can't do that because it's a group shot, it just looks a bit.
Oh no, I just now use ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, use generative AI now just to get rid of people.
Oh,
it's really fun.
Did you not notice those pictures that I took of you? Did you really think I created that?
Oh, you might have done. I don't know. I don't know.
I even wrote in the description when I said,
yeah, I know, but like, I don't know.
Jesus Christ! Oh God, we're getting to a point now where I feel like we should start voting for things. So, oh God, right? So I went with obviously with group cosplays. Alex went for mistaken identity, and Lele's gone with elitism in making your own cosplay. We'll start with Alex. Would you like to stick with your own one or change it to something else?
I'm going to change it and go with Lele's.
Oh, okay.
There's no place for elitism in cosplay.
That's true. That's true.
It's everyone having fun. You do you.
Exactly. You do you, boo, as Lele would say.
That is something I would say.
I've been using that from podcast to podcast, and actually heard it on someone else used it within my podcast. I went, have they been listening? Anyway, Lele, what about you? Would you stick to your one, or would you change, or would you like to change?
I think I would stick to mine.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
That is fine because
Does that seem like a bit big-headed? I don't know.
No. Because I'm going to pick my one. No. I would, if I'm honest, I wouldn't want to deny group cosplays at Comic Con or even at location shoots. So, yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, there is no place for elitists. Nothing wrong with making your own cosplay or making it accurate or things like that. Just don't be shitting on other people. Is basically what we're saying. So, what goes in my room, my FnC Room 101 is, making your own cosplay elitism. Off it goes. So
in the bin.
In the bin. So let's do photography one. Oh, I better start on this one then. Oh dear. Oh, how many times can I get cancelled in a day in one podcast?
Challenge accepted.
New challenger enters. Here's my controversial one. It is cosplayers who say they love my photo of the picture I've taken them, but don't actually post it.
Ooh.
They don't post it on their feed, but they say when I put it on my feed, they go, "Yeah, I liked it," and it happens more and more often now. I'm going, what is it that you love about it, but you're not even doing it on your own feed. Now, I understand it may be a timing thing. You're waiting for the right time for it to upload it. That's absolutely fine. I understand that. I'm a patient guy. I can wait. I can watch your feed. I can wait for that notification goes, such person has tagged you in a photo. I can
I'm
wait
just
for
imagining you like every night just staring at their feed.
Just scrolling, waiting for it to come up.
It's like, just refreshing that
Refresh.
notification. Like, oh, what is it?
Pull down, refresh, pull down, refresh. And yeah, nothing. They don't even post my photo. I'm like, what have I done for not to be like? You say you love it, and yet you're not, in a sense, actually showing that you love it by posting it on your feed. Am I being a bit big-headed about it? Am I analyzing the situation way too much?
No, I do get you. I mean, I always post your pictures. No, but I do get that. Like, and actually, it kind of goes the other way because of, like, if I shoot with a photographer and they send me the pictures, and again, like, I might post them, but they never post them on their feed. I would get this. I'd be like,
Oh yeah.
Like, did you not actually like those pictures that you took then, or like, what? You haven't posted any of them? And I'd get the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just really infuriates me, and it might be that they're saying, I don't want to hurt his feelings. I want to show encouragement. I will probably want to work with that photographer again in the future. If I say I love it, great. And generally, you might say deep down, I do love it. You do love that photo, but just maybe not be conscious that, have I actually posted that or not? But I don't want to also go up to them and saying, I've noticed you haven't posted it. When you're going to post? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that person.
You don't want to come over as like desperate.
I have had it before. I've had it before where I have gotten pictures back from somebody and I wasn't super keen on them. But I didn't say I loved them. That's the thing. I wasn't like, oh my God, I love these. These are amazing, or anything like that. I was just like, oh, thank you for these, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you
and
say
that's
thank
it,
you.
kind of thing. I said thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't go over the top saying I love them, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't mind you them just saying, oh, thank you for the photos, cheers. That's fine. That just leaves me in a limbo of me crying in the shower, wondering if they do like it or not. But the other thing that the bit I'm actually saying is like, I think the fact of the decoration, I really love this photo. It's like, oh, cool, I love these photos. Oh, that's why I shared it. Why aren't you sharing that same experience onto your? It blows my mind when I don't feel like they understand where I'm coming from. That is literally all I am saying, and it just infuriates me. I haven't heard from Alex. I'm wondering if she's got an opinion on this.
So I hoard my photos for the quieter times because I don't tend to shoot with a lot of people at cons anymore. I have a very select few photographers that I shoot with. I think I've spoken about this on a podcast before because I've been burned a lot in the past, and like I had many points to say about photographers. Like, just I've been burned a lot.
That is a whole rabbit hole if we go down there.
So, like, the photographers that I work with, I trust really well, and I know I'm going to get great photos from. So I'm not a cosplayer who has tons of content to churn out every single day or like every week. So I tend to, I've noticed this, I don't post as often as I did anymore. So like, I don't have any cons now until next year, which is crazy. So I'm like slowing down my posting purely so I've got stuff to get me through. So a lot of the time for me, it's like your photo will appear, but it may appear like months after the fact because I'm just hoarding. But no, I mean, I've had it before with togs, like I said, where they've not posted the photo of me, but I've seen them posting photos from like the same set, but from like of somebody else who was in the group or something, or like similar pictures, and I'm like, but I was there. Hi.
Hello. What about me?
Hello. What about me?
But no, I think it's totally valid to be like, oh, they haven't posted anything that I sent them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think especially as well with con, I see it as very much, it's a collaborative effort, like everything is being done TF, everybody is like going there to get pictures, either as a photographer, you're wanting to take pictures, as a cosplayer, you're wanting to get pictures. You're all like there to do it together. And so when you're doing it as a collaborative thing, like the decent thing is to like post like at least something from someone that you shot with,
Yeah.
like
Well,
even if it's
yeah.
just one picture, like, because of if you don't, then it's a bit kind of like, oh,
Yeah. And but basically also from a like looking to the future, it's that if I feel like I have gotten to this point with one cosplayer, they consistently try to find me at Comic Con, use my time up to take photos. They don't even book with me through they just say, "Oh, have you got a spare moment? Can I shoot with you?" Oh yeah, sure, whatever. And then I go, "Hang on." They don't even like share the photos onto their feeds. Like, what is the point? Now, someone did say, "Oh, maybe they just want a memory of the photo of the moment that you wore the costume." Absolutely fine. That's not a problem. Not being funny, you can use your phone for that
Yeah.
because I've got people who want to shoot with me who would like to go, I want some photos of my cosplay and I want to put it on social media. I want some decent photos. Thank you very much. And if you just want memory photos, sorry, I have to say that's again, I'm going to get cancelled for that comment. But use your your iPhone, your Android phone, just for that. And yeah. And if I feel like that, you're wasting my time, and you don't want, and I feel like actually you don't actually want to shoot me. You're just saying it just to be polite. You don't have to shoot me. You can just say no. You can just lie to me as well and just go, "Oh, I'm actually going to another shoot. I'll catch up with you later," and never find me. That's fine. I'll cry still in the shower, but at least you've not wasted my time in that sense, type of thing. That's all I'm going to say on that point. So yes, before I get cancelled even further. So I'm going to let someone else talk. We've let Alex go first between the two of you, so I'm going to let Lele go first.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So my thing is over editing.
Dum dum dum.
So, and this is quite a broad spectrum, really, because of you can get over editing with, like, for example, skin edits.
Yeah.
Which, if you get a picture back and your face literally just looks like a blur, like you're like, oh, that's nice. I have no
Look,
face.
Lele,
I have no facial features anymore. It's
I
great.
was rushing. I didn't realize what I was pressing.
Like, that's like one aspect of it. You get some photographers sometimes who they use like different editing styles, and they, to be honest, they potentially might be using like presets or something, on Lightroom and things.
Yeah.
And sometimes it changes like the color tone of things. But sometimes that's to a point where actually it now means that the costume is no longer accurate because of the way you've edited it. It actually means that it's not the right color anymore. And I've had that happen, and I've got friends that have had that happen where it's like, this is such a raging picture, but the costume isn't actually that color. And they've edited it in a way that's changed the color, and now it just looks like I have an inaccurate costume, when actually, in person, it was spot on. And things like that really bugs me, because I'm like, well, obviously as a cosplayer, you work hard to try and make it accurate, and then it gets over-edited and distorted to a point that it's no longer accurate anymore, because they've changed the colours and things like that. And then you also just get things like, just, putting the contrast up too much and just different things, like, just stop it. Just stop it.
Oh, just look. If you want to attack my editing style, just tell me in person. You don't have to use my podcast for this, all right?
No, I needed to find a way to, like, let you know, okay? But no, it happened, like, sometimes as well. Like, sometimes they might show you the picture on the back of the camera.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, that's raging. And then they send you the edit, and you're like, what the fuck did they do?
Yeah.
Like, that original picture didn't even need editing, man. You could have just sent me the raw, and it would have been great. What did you do to it? Like, why did you fuck it up so much?
Yep, I've had this. It's so sad as well, because you're like, that edit, that plain raw photo was so good.
Yeah. No. I, as a photographer who does the post editing, I do worry that when I do show the back of the camera, they go, "Oh my god!" But sometimes I look in their eyes, going, "Are they hoping to see that picture back in their hands, or they've already overlaid their own editing style that they wish to have and get them. I'm like, oh, I don't know how much editing I need to do. Oh, cry. One thing I want to ask you actually, and it's quite interesting hearing you earlier when I mentioned about the generative AI. Did you really not notice the generative AI that I used on your photo? Only on the just to confirm.
There was something that was. Let me have. Where's the pictures?
Yeah, it's only on the background.
There was some. I remember there was definitely something that I noticed. I remember seeing something on Belle on the background.
Oh, that one. Oh God, I've forgotten about that one.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, let's go. So we're doing a bit of mobile phone hunting now. Drive.
If I go.
Sorry, Alex. We'll be moving in a sec.
Right. So Belle. Yeah, you put the castle in the background on Belle.
Oh,
that was a thing you did.
Are you sure that castle's in there at the Excel?
I'm pretty sure that last time I went to Excel, there wasn't a castle there.
That's
I
right
could
next
be
to
wrong.
the Thunder one, isn't it?
Oh, of course, the boat castle. I should have remembered that. God.
The boat's in the moat.
Let me go on Nahida.
I actually meant your Genshin Impact photos. They're the ones I remember.
Oh, now I'm looking at it and going, oh yeah, I see it now. I see it now. I didn't even see it before.
But it's interesting.
Look, I'm not a very observant person.
Fucking shows. But what I'm about to say, no, the question I was going to ask about it was that you're talking about over editing. Does that generative AI that I use, do you consider that over editing? Especially with that castle in the background.
Well, no, because you've made the background actually match the character more.
Mm.
You know, instead of having the Excel Centre behind Belle. Which I don't remember the part in Beauty and the Beast where she went to MCM. And like again with the Genshin one, you've taken out all the like crappy people and shit, and you've just made it look like woods and stuff behind. So you've made it actually more accurate to the character.
Yeah.
But you haven't like made the lighting really weird or up the contrast loads or made it like really bright or like changed all the color tones and made it all weird or made it really dark and like gritty or something like.
Yeah.
I once had somebody up the contrast so much you couldn't see my face. This isn't right. I'm not a photographer. But even I know this isn't how it's supposed to go, right?
I don't want to go into that. I really don't. I mean, it's some people's personal choices how they edit, and do I say this out loud? Oh God, I'm getting cancelled anyway. So when I do look at other people's photography photos, and I look at their style and go, Jesus fucking H Christ, how have they decided that was okay to edit and go, here you go, here's your photo. Secondly, how have they got the balls to upload that? Second, and this is probably what hurts me the most, the cosplayer decides to upload it as well. Like, you don't need to upload that. That is not putting you in the best light because there is no light on you, or vice versa.
Or too much.
Yeah, I've had ones where I've been like you said, like so bright that I'm like, I don't remember cosplaying Casper the Friendly Ghost. Apparently I fucking did, so, you know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, yeah, I totally get from the over-editing one. And, good. Yeah, like I said, I think, as I've mentioned before about my editing style, a lot of it predominantly is I'm just quite a lazy photographer. Now that generative AI has come in, I can do, in a sense, composite photos with generative AI. Fuck me, sometimes it is a fucking hit and miss to do that. But everything else is like, oh, can you do this and do that? It's like, no. Not because I don't want it, it's because I'm just lazy.
Like, I could, but...
I could. No, generally, I will give it a try, but a lot of the time I'll just go, oh, if I learn another new step, that means I have to do that for every photo I do, because once I've learned that step, I now can do that. And then there's like anytime I now see lightsaber effects, if I don't, and I saw it just recently, if I don't see the light splash off the lightsaber onto objects such as the body, the arms, the legs, the head, if wherever the lightsaber is, I will flip my lid because I think that's how light works. It emits light and hits things. If there is no light spill, it's not a lightsaber, it's just a saber. But anyway. Oh God, I got so angry.
You really did. I
I
love
really
it.
did. I know.
I love it.
Whole new thing for Room 101 there.
It's quite interesting you do bring up this subject because today, of all days, someone actually has messaged me to say, "Can I ask your opinion?" And they sent me a photo of, I'm assuming one is of themselves, I'm assuming done on a phone, and one they got back from photos they said from a recent Comic Con, and you can see there's a difference. You can recognize the person, but they look like took like years off them. They've taken the bags out. Not to say there was anything wrong with their previous picture, but it's noticeable. And it's like, where do you draw that line of where would you be comfortable as a photographer to edit, and also how does a cosplayer receive that and take that? Because I can understand from a point of view saying you're creating a perception of what they should look like rather than what they are.
Yeah.
What they do look like. And I want someone to reply that before I get cancelled. Please.
I mean, that's a good segue into mine.
Shall we go straight into yours there?
I feel like we should, yeah.
Go for it.
So mine is when you get your photo back and you've been really excited to get this picture back because you had such a great experience shooting with this person and you saw the back of the camera shots and thought, yeah, they look really great. And then you find that they've edited your body without asking you. And
I'm out here, bye. See you guys.
But no, not in a way that I would. It's hard to explain. Like, as a cosplayer, if say like there was something wrong with my costume and I didn't realize, like there was like a tear, or like in Elsa's case, like beads have fallen off or something, and the photographer just like fixed or like there was a bug that had landed on you. I don't know, something like that.
I've had like a bit on my neckline that had folded over on itself a bit weirdly, and I was like, "Oh, can you fix that?" And
things like that. I'm like, that's absolutely fine. But when you've had your boobs made bigger and your waist made smaller, and things like that, and it's like I didn't ask for that because I wouldn't ask for that, and it kind of makes you really wonder, like, did you only want to shoot with me to try and do that? Like, it was only ever in my Black Widow cosplays that it happened, and obviously she's in a catsuit, and I'm not the smallest of people, but I'm also not the largest of people, and I'm like, why did you feel the need to alter my body to make me look more like her when she's not a real person? She's a cartoon character. She's actually a comic character, but in the movies, like, I know I don't look like Scarlett Johansson. I'm not expecting to look like Scarlett Johansson, so why have you tried to do that in my picture? And then it starts getting you thinking, like, oh God, is my body not good enough for this character? You know, is this what people are thinking? And it just kind of spirals from there, and it sucks.
You kind of think, like, did they just assume that I would want my body edited because of I must not like it? Because of it's that hideous? You know? Or do they not feel comfortable sharing the images of me on their own page unless they edit it because they don't think I look good? Like, your brain starts doing all of those things.
Like, I don't work with the photog that did this to me anymore for obvious reasons, multitude of reasons, but that was a big one. And yeah, when you compared their previous work, it was very much women in skimpy like cosplay outfits, which fair enough, that's what they want to shoot, go for it. But yeah, it was like, you've kind of done me dirty by all this editing, and I'm not going to share this picture because it's not me. Like, it is me, but it's also not me. So I'm not going to share that because, you know, I've had comments before from people on my social media saying, like, you're too fat to be Black Widow and things like that. Yeah. When I'm like, well, I know that's not true, but also you've now got me thinking that might be true, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So to then see photographers that I've spent my time shooting with at a con, because everybody knows how precious photographer and cosplayer's time is at a con, right? Like, you take a chunk of your day out to go and shoot with people. And I remember I spent a good 45 minutes with this person, which at a con is a lot of time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Only to get pictures back that I just will not use because they've gone to town on the editing.
Because you're like, that's not me. That doesn't look like me.
Like my waist is not that small. My thighs are not that small. My boobs are not that big. You know. What have
Do
you
you know
done?
what? Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how funny it would be, Eddie, if you edited my boobs to be bigger.
If you don't know who Lele is, what she looks like, just
That's
look her
really
up.
funny if you do, no?
Just look that up, and I'm just going to leave it at that. No, I can't say that loud. I was about to say, it'd be really interesting that one of these podcasts I do is called like the 10 Cosplay Commandments. And we just say, what are the general things that everyone should just adhere to? And one of them should be, don't edit your body on any circumstances unless you use these words of, do I have your permission?
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't even ask. Like, I wouldn't say I want to edit your waist. Like, can I do that? Maybe just asking the cosplayer, are there any particular edits is there anything particular that you would like me to edit? Keep it kind of general.
Yeah.
Because then they might say, oh, yeah, like I had a massive spot that day, if you could take that out.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I've got this bruise on my leg, like, can you get rid of that? Or whatever. And they might turn around and say, oh, actually, like, do you think, no, I was a bit bloated that day. Could you, like, bring that in a bit? Like, they might say that, but keep it kind of general. You know, don't sort of be like, oh, can I get your permission to just make your waist smaller and your tits bigger? Like, that's not going to go down well.
Yeah. So essentially what you're saying is you want to be Jessica Rabbit. Sure, I can do that. Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, with the particular tug, like where that's their style. If somebody said to them, can you make me look like that? Fair play, do it.
Yeah.
But it was the fact they just did it without asking.
Yeah.
And like it had come from them kind of stopping me in a corridor at con, like in the con hall, just being like, hi, I'd love to shoot with you. So I'd had no knowledge of their prior work. I'd heard their name around through like friends and things, and I knew their work was good, but I had no idea that was the kind of style they did, and they didn't tell me or show me. So it was kind of a bit like, and I was very young cosplayer. Well, I wasn't young; I was in my 20s, but like
I know you mean, You're baby cosplayer.
Yeah, I was a baby cosplayer, so I didn't really think I should be asking for like what types of photos you do and stuff. And experiences like that have made me really wary about who I take photos with now.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want to interrupt you, but I can understand that this could play so much on your mental health as well.
Oh yeah, like
definitely.
And your self-image,
especially since COVID, because obviously we all put a bit of weight on over COVID, right? It's the COVID weight.
You can't put on weight when you already look like that already. That's what I'm saying. So I enjoy my my chubbiness. It's
So like when I got back into cons at like the end of 2021, when everything kind of started reopening, and I was finding my suits don't fit like they did, you know, and that was tough. And then you see pictures, you see comments like I was on holiday actually. I was in Disneyland. And it hadn't been long. It was just after the first MCM October back, after COVID, and I had worn my white suit Black Widow, and I was so happy about it because I'd worked all over COVID to put this cosplay together, and I hadn't been able to wear it out yet, and I was like, I loved it, and I felt really good in it. And a comment I got on social media was, "You're too fat," because I was like, well, thanks, that's my COVID weight. And white is also a horrendous color to wear sometimes because it does kind of the angles and stuff. It's not flattering.
No.
And I was like, well, there was no need for them to say that, but it did play on my mind for a very long time. And even still to this day, I'm very self-conscious when I wear Black Widow now.
100%. And, you know, but also the answer to those people is fuck off.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, when I see Togs doing that, it just,
No, don't understand.
Like,
don't understand.
At least.
Definitely. Right. I think we will come to the end of this little round. And you, as you heard in the last round, we just asked around, do you know what? For this round only, fuck my one. Just don't worry about that one. I'm going to put these two ones straight into Room 101, okay? There's no point of competing which one is worse, over-editing or editing body shape. Just put them both in the bin. Let's do it.
Let's just chuck them both in.
Yeah, we all agree on that. That, you know, my one is a valid one, but not as valid these two. I'm sure we all agree, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Done. We put it straight in the bin. Okay, both of them in the bin. I've just got to deal with people who say they love my photo but don't share my work.
I just have to deal with crying in the shower after I've gone.
I'm going to go post one of your photos next after we finish.
Do you know what? I was going to do a joke and said, "Oh, and if Alex has put one up, you actually have actually." Although I didn't check Laylay's actually. Let me do that very quickly. I think
most of my Instagram are your pictures, to be fair.
It is. I think it really is.
I posted one of yours like
Belle.
pretty recently.
Yeah, you did the Belle one. That's fine. Yeah. All right. Okay.
And I've done one of the Nahida ones like not long before that either.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, 2 Genshin. I see that one.
I did 2 in a row.
And Doctor Strange not long before that as well.
No, yes, that very. All right. Jesus.
Yeah.
God.
That's right. I'll post you.
All right, just checking. I didn't get a message of I love that, but I'm just saying. Okay. What do you want to do now on the main podcast? Do you want to talk about life or talk about food?
Ooh.
Both of mine are really dumb, so I'm up for either.
Okay, have an idea. Let's talk about food on this one. And if you want to hear what we would like to put on, what we put of life into Room 101, the FnC Room 101, you have to go to the podcast extra. So, who would go first? Lele, you haven't gone first yet, so you can go first. I'm going to sit back and listen to this one.
So we're food, aren't we? We're doing food. Okay.
Food, yes.
My food one is mayonnaise is gross.
Right, we've cancel her. Get her cancelled.
Right, put Lele in Room 101.
No, seriously. So why do you not like about mayonnaise?
Right. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't. It's kind of bland, and what the taste it does have is just kind of shit, to be honest. It's overrated. Don't like it. Don't like it.
Are we talking about all mayonnaise or just plain mayonnaise?
Just normal mayonnaise.
Oh, so garlic mayonnaise, you'd be
just
okay.
Regular, like Hellman's mayonnaise or whatever.
Okay. Have you
texture-wise as well? It's just it's not like a sauce. It's not. I don't like the texture of it. It just seems a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just check with you? Have you had chips with mayonnaise?
Yeah, I don't. No, because no mayo. No mayo.
No mayo.
No, and it really irritates me. I'm starting to get angry now. Really irritates me because of like if you want to get like a sandwich somewhere, it's always got fucking mayo in it. Like you want to go and get yourself a Tesco meal deal, and you're looking at everything. Oh, that's got mayo. That's got mayo. That's got mayo. That's got mayo. You want to get a fucking burger or something? It's got fucking mayo in it. Everything's got fucking mayo in it now.
No.
I'm like,
Lele. When it says chicken salad, you put that down and you pick another chicken salad that will also still have mayo in it. You've got to pick a different flavour.
Yeah, all the flavours have fucking mayo. Oh, even like you get ones which are like turkey and stuffing or something, still has fucking mayo in it. And I'm like, since when was that part of fucking Christmas dinner? Like,
so hang on. So even mixed in with other things, no, it's still a no.
No. No. Like, I'm really passionate about this.
We are desperately running out of time, and I don't want to be talking about too long. Alex, is there anything you want to add before you go for your one?
I really like mayo.
You're dead to me.
But I do tend to mix it with things, to be fair. I can't remember the last time I had plain mayo. So like Eddie said about chips in mayo, I'm really weird. Like if I go to Five Guys, right, I'll get my little tub of mayo, but I'll put ketchup in it too, mix it up and have like ketchup mayo.
Yeah. I used to do that when I was young.
Yeah, like I'll put like you say, like garlic mayo and things. I can't remember the last time I had plain mayo, but I like mayo. So fine.
I literally just had Five Guys for dinner, and I had mayo, and it was lovely.
Yeah, I enjoy mayo.
God, I just killed Lele. She's just
No.
Okay. No. All right.
No.
Well, okay.
No.
Alex, let's talk about your foodie. What would you like to put in the FnC Room 101?
So I'm a really basic bitch, and it's pumpkin spice season right now. And I love pumpkin spice, and I'm really, really salty that the UK's selection of pumpkin spice is so lacking. Like, I was in the US last year just as pumpkin spice season hit, and I could buy like so much stuff, like just food, like pumpkin spice Oreos, pumpkin spice, like all sorts of drinks, like cakes, and other just really good stuff that's all pumpkin flavored, and you just can't get any of that over here, and it sucks. Like even the Starbucks drinks, like they're just crap in comparison to the US ones. Like they get like the pumpkin chai lattes this year, and all we have is like cold brew. So it sucks. Just give me the stuff.
I have got to get this thought out of my head. Sorry, I imagine you going up to Starbucks, up to the man in the corner and go, do you have the stuff?
I mean, to be fair,
I have 10 I have a jar of it. Lay a rail down for me, and you just snort pumpkin spice up your nose. Oh yeah, that's the good shit.
The US got it like very nearly 2 weeks before us, because they always get it before us, which sucks as well, because they're all posting about it on their socials, and we're just like, we haven't got it yet, Starbucks. What's going on? And obviously the cafes and the stores, they know they've got the ingredients and they know it's there. So literally for like 2 weeks before, you just ask them and they're like, we have it, but we can't give it to you. And it's like, just give me my pumpkin spice latte. That's all I want.
Man, I need my fix. Give it to me, man.
So yeah, the lack of it in the UK sucks. I wish we had more.
Sorry, I'm still dying. Sorry, just you snorting a fat rail of pumpkin spice.
Yeah, and nobody who follows me would be surprised.
I'm going to use this as a clip to put on Instagram. I want all Alex's friends to go, yeah.
No, nobody. So many people tagged me when Starbucks announced the pumpkin spice, but what they did this year was put it onto the app a week early for people who are on the app for mobile order. So one of my really good con friends, I love him to pieces, he texted me to say pumpkin spice is now at Starbucks as I was drinking my like 4th pumpkin spice of the season. I was like, I know, thank you.
I'm going to say something controversial that Alex will probably kill me for and cut me off of this podcast. I think I've only had 1 glass of pumpkin spice and I didn't like it.
I'm going to add to this.
I
don't like pumpkin spice.
I mean, to be fair, it's very valid because it is an odd flavour, so you're fine.
I don't know, but I drank it. I don't get why it's so like Moorish. I'm not wanting to lay a fat rail and snort it.
I mean, to be fair, if you offered that to me as an option, I would not take it. That doesn't sound pleasant.
And on that note, we're going to move it along. But actually, before, Lady, was there anything you want to add to the pumpkin spice before we move on?
I mean, like, in my opinion, just because of I don't like pumpkin spice, there's actually too much pumpkin spice everywhere. I'm like, can it just fuck off, please?
Oh, God.
Honestly, the pumpkin spice Oreos are so good, and I wish you guys could have the pumpkin spice Oreos.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like it.
But they don't taste like pumpkin. They're just really, they're really creamy.
My issue isn't the pumpkin, it's the spice. That's the bit I don't like.
My issue is both. Anyway, I'm going to move it along, so here's my one, and I think I've said this story before, and I really wish I would remember this story to myself. Maybe I will listen to this podcast on the toilet and I'll remember. I want to put in to my FnC Room 101 the effect that jalapeno stroke really spicy food has on me. So just to give you a very brief, quick story about my history of jalapenos. I love the taste of jalapeno. It's got a really nice heat to it. It's like not over spicy, but it's a real. It's got a bit of tart to it at times. It's so lovely. It goes well in tacos, burgers. So nice. You know, nacho spreads. Oh, I love it. Mwah. The first time I had it, I just kept popping it in my mouth. I just love it. The next day, when nature calls, to put it politely, I might have been screaming a little bit internally in my head. I was so confused why I was in pain. I could not work it out for 5 minutes why the ring was on fire. Let's put it that way. And
God.
And after the 5th minute of going, oh my God, what? Oh, it's the jalapenos. Oh yeah, that last night. Oh yeah, that. And ever since then, it's even though it's still taking me a long time, but that time is getting shorter and shorter. I think I've got it down to a minute now, minute or 30 seconds before I realise why it's happening to me. But I wish,
I love the fact that though you know this happens, but you keep eating them.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I love. I love that.
Well, yeah, because I remember more the taste than the effect it has on me. And I'm sure it affects other people. And I'm sure they also love the flavour, but don't like the effect. So they would also want to put that into the FnC Room 101. Obliterate it from the earth. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if I want to invite people to talk about it. We have all equally said some shit things.
You're kind of like lactose intolerant people where they eat like dairy because they know they shouldn't eat cheese, but they still love cheese. You're kind of like that, but with jalapenos.
You're like about to eat it, like, how sick is this going to make me?
No, the phrase I use is the path from me to the toilet needs to be clear, because if it's not clear, we're all in trouble.
I need a maximum distance between me and the toilet.
I'd like this to be a challenge.
Yeah, you could set up like an obstacle course.
Why would I make this experience any more troubling for me?
So the next time we go out for food, we need to find someone with jalapenos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you won't see it until the next day. Well, you won't hear from me for the next day.
I was going to say we're going to see it. Oh my God.
Anyway, we really are desperately running out of time on the main podcast, but we'll do the last one on the podcast extra. But I don't know if we want to vote or we're just going to... we'll go one by one. Lele, do you want to stick to your own one or switch to anyone else?
I'm going to actually switch to yours because I don't want you to have this pet. I want you to be able to enjoy your jalapenos without this fear. This panic.
It's not a pack, it's just a fear that happens on the moment the ring is on fire. Anyway, Alex, would you like to stick to your one or switch?
No, I will happily switch because I was not expecting the jalapeno story. And I agree with Lele.
I'm really stunned that my one's one. If that's the case, I'm going to stick to... I don't think I would have switched, if I'm honest. I think I would have stuck to my one.
I love a jalapeno, and you should be able to enjoy jalapenos.
Thank you!
You deserve nice things.
Thank you! That's all I want. It's nice things and recline in the shower. On that note, I'm going to end the podcast. As I keep mentioning, we're going to do one more. We're going to do that on the podcast extra. So go to the Patreon and listen to that. But on that note, we do our socials, networks, and all that. So we'll do it alphabetically. Alex, if they want to find you, send you like pumpkin. If Starbucks is listening, they want to send you pumpkin spice and give you fat rails to snort. Where can they send it? Where can they find you?
They can find me at Natasha Cosplay on Instagram and Twitter.
Fantastic. Lele, where can they find you on the social medias if they want to give you pictures of mayonnaise?
They can find me at Lele Cosplay on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, but I always forget to post on there. Ay.
I coughed so hard more my earpieces fell out. Oh, God. Let me just take a sip.
Nick is going to have a wild time having to go through this later.
Oh, my, he really will. He really will. Oh, dear. Sorry, that image popped in my head about the pumpkin spice. Anyway, if you need to find me on the social medias, you go to foodandcosplay.org/links. You'll find all my social media links there. If you go to foodandcosplay.org, you'll find cosplay pictures, some articles here and there. As this has gone out, my scheduled dates have been released, so go check that out if it's still valid, if you're still in the month of September and October-ish. where am I up to now? Yes, if you go to foodandcosplay.org/podcast, you will hear previous recorded podcasts I've recorded with these two separately with different subject and other people. If you go to patreon.com/foodandcosplay, you can hear the other podcast extra where we will be talking about something about life we would want to put in my fictional food. And then I'm going to close the podcast and let me say that again. On that note, I'm going to end the podcast here, but hopefully see you on the podcast extra. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and they're going to say goodbye. So bye, guys!
Bye.
Bye.
What the hell is that?